can definitely say, like, I know the boundaries that my parents have in place. Like, I understand, like, they are not gonna let me be outside at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's certain places I can't go. So, like, that speaks to your parenting. I know the boundaries and know the things that I can and cannot push.
Yeah.
Like, y'all say 10:30, we can shake a little toward 11. We can do it. We hit that 12. I know that 12. That's it. So I
Yeah,
don't.
you got it. You got it. You got it.
Thank you. It's like I know, like I mean, I had an instance when we got out of school, and my friend was like, "Well, can we maybe sneak it to 12:30?" I said, "No. They said 12. I think we need to go can't cut it." And I wanted to actually be in my own bed at 12:30, so we were gonna be gone before that. Amen. But I think that you and mom's parenting has really, I feel, you all give me just like that area to kind of be myself and different
Mhm.
from Kanaya. Because, like Kanaya said, she is very much so like you. And the way you all interact is completely different from the way we interact, me and you.
So why don't you tell how Kanaya and I are, since you keep
Okay.
saying we are alike.
So,
How are we?
very mild mannered, cool tone. You all don't express too much. If you can get your point across in 3 words or less, you would do that. That's why a lot of your text responses to my text messages are okay and cool or a thumbs up. It's just
It's so true.
and my mom. I mean, if you ask us a question, I got 20 sentences for you right off rip. I could carry a conversation 100%. So I mean, with how I feel like I've seen it, especially the past couple years, I've seen it change in how we interact. The text messages are still the same. Like that's not awful. But like we have we have much more. We have conversations that are so much more in depth. Like our conversation on the way to school, jumping. Like there are times like in the car, like okay, like everybody be quiet. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. We did.
Right.
But at other times we have really interesting conversations. Like I feel like when you want to, you have really great like we can yap for hours.
Hours, my God.
Like they're telling you just don't want to talk. Me, I want to yap all day, 100%. But in that same sort of sense, like now when you have like for example, like if Kanaya does something, you can sit down with Kanaya and be like, hey man, that wasn't the best thing. Just do better next time. That's in the conversation. Me and you, we got to sit down. We got to dive deep. Let's go deeper on this one. We have to talk about what happened. Talk about what led to the decision. Talk about why I made the decision. Because I need constant.
Dialogue.
I need dialogue. Yeah, I need dialogue. I can't do no monologue and we just sitting there and that's the end of the conversation. So I feel like right now I'm yapping up a storm. Like that's just not what y'all do. Y'all just don't do that. Like, that's not y'all thing. That is 100% my thing.
But part of my parenting is recognizing you need that, whereas Kanaya doesn't need that. And so you know, it's my responsibility to identify that and encourage it,
Yeah.
and not to shut you off. Not because if I do that, then I realize that has a long-term impact on our relationship. And so if I want to nurture the kind of relationship where my daughter feels comfortable, both of you feel comfortable coming to your father, then I have to put aside what makes me most comfortable and accept and walk into and embrace what makes both of you most comfortable.
I want to speak on that. Like, I will say, like, the way you kind of set up, especially my relationship with you, but the relationship that we have individually with Poppy is like, I would rather get in trouble with my parents than put myself in danger. Like, I feel like now we have that relationship where it's like, between life and death, I'd rather tell you something that I don't like. I'm scared to actually tell you because like we've gotten to a point now. It's like we're in an age now where we know right from right and wrong from wrong. So like
Mhm.
if it's wrong, we know it's wrong. So we know we're gonna get in trouble for it regardless. But I'd rather be in trouble, but in the safety and the comfort of the relationship that we've built than be in trouble and in danger outside. because I know there are far worse things that can happen to me outside the four walls in our home than the four walls inside our home. And I think it just speaks to like the volumes of the relationship we built.
Wow.
So, I've said this to my friends, and they think I'm crazy. I believe that 100%. I might not tell you first before I tell Kanaya, but the point is,
That's true.
I was
That's
still,
true.
yeah, like if I'm outside and like I'm stranded, hey Naya, so like, babe, and like I kind of, I would ask her like how you would respond, and then I'd probably call you a mom. You might be mom first, but I still, you know,
You call your mom first?
probably.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, wait, disclaimer though. It depends on what the situation is.
You got my undivided attention.
If for me, well, okay, so for me, our relationship is different because I don't live in the house anymore. And so there's a level of like, I can't call you for everything because that's not how that works. Like, I'm not, hopefully, I don't, the goal is to not have to live under you all's roof permanently after at some point in my adulthood. That will not be the case for a long time or barring any financial hardships. And so you're supposed to be the backup plan. Like I call if I need advice or if I need to understand how something works, but trying to figure out things on my own is how life goes right now. If it's something regarding a boy, like if I'm in danger, I'm absolutely calling you first.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But if it's something like,
but she said if she's stranded, she's gonna call her mother first.
Because here's the thing, like you ask too many questions in the moment. I feel like,
yeah, you need to just get up and go. Mom would just be like, okay, I'm getting in the car.
What happened to your ride? Why didn't Yanni? It's 11:30. You didn't think about this before. I need you to ask questions while I'm in the car. Like,
you gotta get in the car,
bro. Like, mama answers you like,
duly noted.
Are you okay? Like, just send me the answer. I'll come get you. And then she ask questions in the car. I don't have time to be standing on 62nd and King Drive. You talking about some? Why are you there? What happened to your ride? Come get me. Like, what's like?
All right,
yeah, first.
I got the memo. I'm gonna come get you.
But yeah, not to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, I think that's very true. It depends on what the situation is.
Yeah.
It depends on the kind of response that I want.
Oh, yes.
Listen, I want you girls to know, not that I'm competing with your mom, but I want to be the first one you call.
For certain instances, you are.
No, for all the instances.
Well,
but that's like she said about the response.
No, I get it. I understand. I mean, you're gonna do what you want to do. I understand.
Like with school mattering, like teachers and schoolwork, call in first, like 100%. Cause see, like mom, she love the benefit of the doubt. Stop. The doubt don't matter. The doubt don't matter. No more doubts. Let's right here, right now. She want to be like, well, you know, it's a no. We don't know. Let's not act like we know. We don't know.
right.
I'll call you first. If I'm having a problem with a grade, and I'm like, I need motivation. I need like, okay, you got it. Call mom. Like if I just failed the test, I'm calling my mother. You're gonna call my mother. But
I do enjoy. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but if I have like a test, like it's not that I got an assignment that my teacher's not putting in, and it's affecting my grade, call you. Okay.
What I do enjoy for me is that I think the difference between you and mom's parenting creates a great balance.
Yeah.
I feel like I am emotionally tough like my dad. My mom takes a different approach emotionally to most things than I do. So if I need encouragement, I'll call my mother. If I need hardcore, you is slacking motivation, I'm calling my dad.
100%. Like,
and most times that's the one that's gonna get me off my hind parts.
Absolutely. Get my feet in some
for me to do what I need to do.
Absolutely. Mom is the type, come sit at your bedside. It's okay. Poppy is type, pull the covers off. All right, play. Come on. You do it.
Get up.
Not working.
Do what you need to do.
Yeah. But I agree with Kanaya. The balance is definitely there. And to talk about what we talked about earlier in the episode about how, like, since you don't have sons, all you know is how to work with girls and your wife being dominated by women, like you know how to you see emotion and you've seen it a lot. So you're not foreign to it. But I will say with having daughters, you're now more equipped to handle it. Because I feel like with people around you, like with your mother and your grandmother, you can't say what you want to say. You kind of just have to let them kind of, and you're like, okay, people around you, you're kind of just like, man, you tweaking, shut up. Cool. You don't say that. But I'm like, you could. With children, us specifically, you have to take the emotion, help us process the emotion, help us to reach a solution while handling the emotions. Like you now have a different form of emotion. You're kind of just, you learned, and I will say in a way you're becoming an expert, if not already, how to deal with it, especially with us. Because like Naya was kind of saying about how mom handles things differently. I picked that up from my mother. I'm a very emotional person. And the way I handle my emotion is I would say a lot more outwardly expressed, and how you deal with that versus how you deal with that with Kanaya is why there are certain situations where I wouldn't talk to you first, but there are other situations I do, because now I'm getting older. I feel like there are certain things where like, yeah, I can cry about it, but I need somebody that's gonna like talk to me like, okay, I hear you crying, but like, okay, man, like stop crying because you gotta like do something different.
Well, I have learned to, and I wasn't good at this for the first, I would say, probably 5 or 6 years that Kanaya was here, and then probably the first 4 or 5 years, maybe more than that. But I had to learn how to let you all express your emotions without me trying to shut down those expressions. And so, because that's foreign to my own makeup. And so, you know, I had to learn and then put into practice, when you all would cry, and for me, it's more rational than it is quote unquote emotional. But I would say, if you have something to cry about, something legitimate to cry about, then I have to give you freedom and space to do that. If you're crying because you got in trouble because of something you did, no, that don't work. That don't fly. I mean, you just now you're crying because you got caught. But if you are genuinely hurt, or you've experienced some kind of emotional trauma, because I don't handle it or I don't express it with tears, doesn't mean you shouldn't. And so I've had to make sure I give you all your space where you can express your feelings about whatever you're going through in a way that's safe, because my top priority is to give you all security. And part of that security is having a safe place where you can be who you are, whether you want to laugh, whether you want to scream, whether you want to cry, even when you want to shut down and be by yourself. You should be able to do that around your father, around your mother, in your home, because that should be your safe haven. And so I had to learn, when you were expressing that hurt, that disappointment, that anger, whatever it was, it was healthy for you to express it. It was unhealthy for you if I tried to stymie it. And so I'm also learning, particularly with Kanaya, since she's no longer under the same roof full time, I can't fix everything instantly, and so even with you now, I'm learning to take a step back and give you the space and the authority to invite me to help you, rather than for me to assume you need me to intervene. And that's difficult, because I don't like to see either one of you hurt. And so when I see you're hurting, or when I see you not at your best, my instinct is to come to your rescue. I'm learning, and I have learned, it's not always my place to presume you need me. It is my place to be available when you say you need me.
Yeah, that's very true. I think that I learned in my home with you and mom that it's okay to be emotional, but that it cannot prevent self-accountability. Because I've had to take some tough L's where I'm like, didn't nobody do this but you. So if you maybe had started this homework 3 weeks ago, you might not be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. So even though I'm crying because I'm tired, that doesn't change, but you made the decision. So I think that you all's approach, emotionally being different, allowed me to have that balance. Because when I feel a way about things, I do cry, but it don't stop the grind. And I think that that's important. Because sometimes you do want to just be like, yeah, well, I'm done with this, and that's not really how life works. And so I'm happy about that. um it's still foreign to me being emotional around my dad, because we're the same in that we don't outwardly express a lot of emotion. I mean, my mom can tell you, if I am crying in the presence of masses, I'm feeling something pretty intensely. um and so learning to be vulnerable around my father about certain things has definitely been an interesting journey. I'll say that. So, Father, what is it like watching me and Kiani interact?
Um, it's humorous. It is. It's never a dull moment. Um, Seeing the two of you at this age is a lot of fun. Um,
Yay.
I do wish, and I wish you two were closer in age. I wish you two were 2 years apart instead of what is it, the 3 and 9 months, I think it is, somewhere in there. I wish you all were 2 years apart. Because I would have liked to have seen you all as you were kind of going through similar things. I would have liked to see you all in high school together. For 2 years in the same high school together. I would have liked to have seen you all, handling the same environment at the same time. So, and I think, I appreciate the kind of older sister you've been to Kiani. I appreciate how Kiani has embraced you as being her older sister. And I've seen the two of you turn a corner in your relationship with each other. And I'm gratified to see that because, that's not the norm in a lot of households. And so, for me to see how you all talk to each other, how you relate to each other, how you all cheer each other on, how you two support each other, how you push each other, how you bring out the best in each other, and how you have accepted your roles as both older and younger sister. And just, as you said, Kanaya, there's balance between your mother and me in terms of our child rearing. But there's balance between the two of you, and you two are like a two-part symphony. I mean, the music you two make together, it is incredible. And I am hopeful the good Lord allows me to live another 50 years so I can see how you two are when you become adults, and then middle-aged adults, and then senior citizens. I mean, my mom and my aunt were close. I mean, when I was your age and younger, it seemed like my aunt and my mom were constantly together. I mean, they are both nurses. They both have children. They both have two girls. So they've got a lot of similarity, and they're 2 years apart, not even 2 full years. And so they have the kind of relationship that when I was younger, I saw, and I said that, as I got older and could appreciate what they had, that was something I wanted for my children. And so I see you all doing that, and you two like each other. You get along. You want to be with one another. And so I think that's just it is a source of joy and beauty to see how the two of you have grown to appreciate each other's presence in your lives. Agreed?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Yes, agreed.
Okay. I can't wait until we get episode 2 going. And so we'll talk a little bit about um, expectations of one another, your expectations of me as a father, my expectations of you as daughters, and the impact that you all have on your friends, and how my friends have influenced my own parenting. And so I think that's something that we all can share with one another. And I think our audience will enjoy hearing those stories.
Yeah.
All right.